So this is going to be another movie review. This one's called The Mouse That Roared, 1959. I'm giving it 5 out of 5 stars. I really love this flick. Granted, it's a little silly at times. It is a 1959 Peter Sellers movie. It might be his very first movie, as far as I know. But I got some laughs out of it. I didn't count how many laughs, maybe 10 or so. It's an anti-war movie, right up there with King of Hearts. I actually thought this was better than Dr. Strangelove. Which also has Peter Sellers playing multiple parts. This has Peter Sellers playing 3 different people, similar to Dr. Strangelove, but he's hilarious in drag as the Duchess of this tiny country with his little whimsical Duchess. It's great. Peter Sellers is a great comedian. I love this this flick. So the Duchess is running the tiny little country. Its main export is wine, and then they get into a trade war with the United States. The United States changes the name of the wine by 1 letter and keeps the labeling the same. So the tiny little country loses out and goes bankrupt, and their only solution is to declare war on the United States in the hopes that they'll lose and get some kind of Marshall Plan going, similar to the occupation of Japan after World War II, or the occupation of Iraq after the 2 Iraqi wars. So it's like that. It's very prescient about how the U.S. military mind thinks, or the diplomat, how the diplomatic process works, I should say. And pretty cool stuff. It's directed by Jack Arnold, who also did Creature from the Black Lagoon. It Came from Outer Space, and a movie that I can't name on the air or I'll get censored on YouTube because it contains the N-word, and it's got Fred the Hammer Williamson in it. Another great flick that I've reviewed on YouTube with the original title, and it quickly got censored, of course, because it was politically incorrect movie title name, let's just say. Nevertheless, it's also got the guy from The Prisoner, #1 from The Prisoner. It's got William Hartnell, right before he became the very first Doctor Who. That was pretty cool. And of course, Peter Sellers has got the lady from Breathless, the comely short-haired blondie. She looks even better than this than she did in Breathless. For some reason, I don't know why Godard gets all the credit for such great camera work. I mean, I thought she was better in this movie. Although Breathless is one of Godard's better movies, which isn't saying much. I'd have to say Alphaville is tied with breathless for 3 out of 5 stars. The only 3 out of 5 stars Godard movies that I've ever reviewed in my lifetime. So, getting back to the movie. So, Peter Sellers plays the Duchess, the Prime Minister, and the military leader of this tiny little country. The Duchess, as the Prime Minister, he hatches this plan to declare war on the United States. So they send it in the mail, and the guy just promptly tosses it over by the water cooler or something. And and they decide to invade with their little army bows and arrows and stuff. It's pretty ridiculous, but funny at the same time. I get the satire, the way governments think and whatnot, especially the U.S. government. But there's also some Ruskies in there later on. And some pretty funny jokes in this. You gotta understand the times to really get into this movie. But lots of side jokes and gags and stuff. It did have me laughing throughout, like Duck Soup. But it was still pretty funny. I had to give it credit. Peter Sellers did a great job. So they go to the United States, and New York City is completely abandoned. People are instructed to go underground because of this Q bomb that this scientist invented, and his daughter is the short-haired blondie that I was telling you about in the Godard movies. So they've got this bomb that makes this funny noise when you touch it. It's very, very funny movie. In some ways, quite silly, but every once in a while you can't help but to crack up at the jokes and the gags and stuff, and the props. So this bomb looks like a football. It looks like a mechanical football, and it keeps making this weird noise when you touch it. And everybody's evacuated underground because of this thing. It's supposed to be more powerful than the H-bomb, wiping out entire continents simultaneously. And so the little tiny country's army arrives with Peter Sellers in charge, and they end up kidnapping the professor and her daughter. Some army general who thinks the Martians are invading, based on rumors. When they saw the army in Central Park putzing around in their 15th century chainmail stuff. And so there's a rumor floating around that they're actually Martians. And the government gets all freaked out. They send this army general there. They shoot the truck tires with bow and arrow, kidnap the guy, take the bomb and the professor and her daughter as hostages. Instead of losing, they actually win. So Peter Sellers, the Prime Minister's plan, went horribly wrong. So they get back, and Peter Sellers is just beside himself as a prime minister. That his plan didn't work. He calls Peter Sellers the army general an imbecile a couple times, I think. And so they're trying to figure out what to do. They decide to hang on and wait. And all these countries arrive at the border trying to get in. They end up playing a diplomacy game, board game, which is kind of like a Monopoly version of diplomacy, I guess. And meanwhile, Peter Sellers, the prime minister, and the prisoner number one guy, they both quit the government, and then they tried to take the bomb for themselves to give it back to the U.S. government, but it's just a crazy movie. Great humor. I thought it was silly at times, but you have to understand it's in the context of 1959, so you know there's going to be some goofy stuff going on there, and just great flick. I posted the movie and the trailer in the description box, so definitely check that out. Highly recommended. And right now I'm watching Phantom from 10,000 Leagues. I put a Godfrey Ho movie, another one, Robo Vampire, which is a mishmash of a Thai movie and Godfrey Ho, Hong Kong, hopping vampires, bunny hops. So that should be painful. Well, not painful, but definitely one of the worst movies of all time. Gets a low 2 rating on IMDb. Definitely something that I want to see. I love Godfrey Ho. He's the Ed Wood of Hong Kong. And any chance I can get, I'll pick up his DVDs. So I'm trying to do that. And that's the end of my review. I'm going to eat dinner and throw in some laundry, take a nap. Laters.